welcome back to episode number 2 of our podcast, Who Knows?
Who knows what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, who knows? How are you doing?
I'm tired and still shaken up because Dad terrified me this morning by waking me up the way he did.
But he didn't wake you up though.
No, I was just gaining consciousness again, and then I turn around and he's just standing in the doorway, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, my soul left my body for a second, but it's coming back slowly, but yeah.
Yeah, because it was actually me said, just peek in and see if she's up. And right at that time, you were just like waking up.
Well, how are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit tired as well, actually, today, but that's fine. Dad did his first talk here in Bali in a long time, so which is good. So it was a nice evening last night. Yeah. So who knows what we're going to talk about today, but me and Dad, or I was asking Dad yesterday, and we've been talking about it today a little bit when we were driving around, a question that has come up in my mind that I heard from another podcast. Who do you want to become?
Ooh.
And what does that mean even?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because I feel like every person you ask that to has a completely different perspective of it. Like, who do you want to become? Like, that word become, it's like, because you could be like, oh, I want to become an astronaut or something. But you could also say, oh, I want to become the highest, like, level of spirituality I can get to in this lifetime or something. So it's interesting with that question, because it really depends on the person. So how about you answer the question first?
Yeah, because when I asked the question to Dad, I was like, what was he gonna answer, and how is he gonna see that? And then of course I contemplate in my own head about myself, and the bottom line, if I just take everything else away, is to become whole on all levels, which I think, it's...
Elaborate.
Okay, whole, if you take, if somebody has an illness...
I know what whole means.
Yeah.
But, like...
So for me...
What would make you whole?
Well, I mean, I'm a work in progress.
So is everyone.
So I have quite a few things that I am still working on within myself. And whole, for me, I think also, you got no fear of dying. You got no fear of what other people think about you. You got no fear about... So fear is a big thing. You got no fear of whatever it is, talking in front of people, or fear of heights, fear of claustrophobia, fear of whatever. And then completely whole mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, spirit. That's what I feel because I've been thinking about it now for 24 hours, and I thought I would, let's talk about this firstly. So that I feel, for me anyway.
You don't feel like you feel like you're not whole right now?
Yeah, that's what I said that today. I'm pretty, uncomfortable in my own skin.
Yeah, because...
I'm not 20 anymore.
No, because, like, that whole, like, I want to become whole thing, and, like, I think that's a weird way to put it, because personally, I don't think we ever stop, like, working on ourselves and
changing.
Growing. It's, like, even, like, Buddha and Gandhi and all these people, they were probably still working on themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you never reach a point where you're like, okay, I'm done. It's like you'll always find something to do with your brain. Like, your brain is so intricate and has so many different areas and levels, and you can dig to your past, you can dig in the future and the present, and yeah, it's like I don't ever think there's an end to it, you
No.
know, like unless you would like, I don't know, like completely desocialize from anything and everything and just stay in like a cave for the rest of your life.
Yeah. No, that's not an option, is it?
But
No.
like even then, I feel
Yeah.
like,
No, but I think it's like you say, working on myself, and I love that because it's challenging. Sometimes it's not so fun, but most
yeah.
of the time it is, oh, I didn't see it that way,
Yeah.
and then I'm growing, or I'm letting stuff go that I don't need, and um yeah. So changing and welcoming that change, I think, as well. So
Yeah.
like you said, becoming, who do you want to become? Yeah. So who do you want to become? Because you turn 18, if we just go on a more um like matter question, not so much in the I don't know, ether frequency or whatever we call it. So you turn 18 soon, in a few months.
It's a very tricky question for me because, you know, I'm such a present person. Like, I never for like a second think about the past or the future. And when I do, which is super rare, like the other day I caught myself thinking about, like, oh, I wonder what I'd be like in 10 years. Like, that thought, like, kind of like shocked me a little because I was like, I never think like this. And it was so, like, out of my, like, persona or whatever. And so like a question of like who do I want to become when it like that whole question is based around like the future and like who you're gonna be in that time, and it's complicated for me to even grasp.
No, but let's say it's not in the future then. Let's say it's the next second, and you can just go boop, and you just became that.
So on a physical level, you're asking
Wow,
me.
I don't know.
Because that's
Any level.
that's what I interpreted as when you said as a more matter form.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be your body as such. It could be your whole, you know, mind, body, spirit, internal, external, everything. If I could just go, tick, and there you go. Not future.
Well, I'd like to become someone who has found a very easy, peaceful way, not in a way that like changes the whole way you function on a day-to-day life, a way to live without money. Because money is a thing that I don't like and I don't really want to be close to. And just like that thought of like you don't actually need it in your life, you know? And it's just a thing that we've come up with, and I think I just think it's a negative thing in this world and it's causing a lot of issues. But anyway, being able to live without it peacefully and without like completely changing your whole way of life would be great. And also someone who has like endless amount of possibilities to change.
Change what?
Like how I look, like how I am, the area I'm in, not in like I don't like the way I am, so I want to be a different person, but in a creative, like, letting it out way, I guess. Like, you know, like I have a bunch of weird wigs and I contact lenses and makeup and this that. I do that not to like change who I am or anything. I do that as a form of like expressing myself.
Yeah, it's fun.
So it's like if it were possible, I'd love just like a button to change me into like a different character every now and then, just to like a fun twist of things. Yeah, but no, that it would be fun to just have like a big supply of like costumes and makeup and all this and prosthetics, and yeah, I mean anything that can really like fulfill that like creative and weird crazy side of me.
You should work in a theater.
No, I don't want like I don't like people like sitting there judging me. I just want to do it. I don't care.
Why does it matter if somebody judges you?
No, it's not the fact that like I care about what they think about me. It's more the fact that I don't like them like just being there. Like I just want to be in my own groove with my little tunes on, with my just sitting in the mirror making weird faces, you know? Like I don't really want an audience at all. Like
no, okay. So there's nothing special you're thinking about when you turn 18?
I'm gonna get tattooed.
Oh.
And you're gonna pay for it.
No.
Yeah.
Why should we pay for it?
Because if it's my only wish for my present.
For your birthday present.
Then you're forced to.
Well, we're not. We're not. We'll see about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But see, you talked about money before, and I know we had this talk before, and how you see money and how you see it as not a good for humanity or anything. But you can't get tattoos though if you haven't got money, unless you find a way to barter.
Barter?
Which is like exchanging. There's little communities actually in the world. They have a barter system where if you're a hairdresser, you cut the hair of the tattoo artist and she or he tattoos you. So it's
trading.
It's a barter system, they call it. Or you have lots of chickens. So
Well, it's not necessarily true that I can't get them without money. I could get a tattoo gun and then tattoo myself.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Which is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know, money, like for these past, like, I don't know, like 6 months, it's because I've been trying to get a job and things like that and figuring out what I want to do for money. It's been a big topic in my mind, and the more and more I've thought about it, the more and more I've realized that like a lot of issues in this world are caused by money.
Absolutely.
Because
a lot of
with money comes power and popularity, and that's what everyone wants. It's either popularity or power, you know, and like no other being on this planet pays to be on this planet except for us. Like do you see a seal like paying for things? No, you don't. He just lives, you know.
Well, we're kind of in a different intellectual,
but we're
we're so creative, and I think I know what you mean, and I absolutely understand that part and way of thinking around money. But when I should say, because I truly believe in a beautiful bright future, when we shift, money can actually be just a really practical tool, and it doesn't have to be greed. It could be really beautiful, and it is very beautiful as well if we use it in the right way. We've just been lost many years now, how we, around the greed and everything like that. So I think
I kind of disagree with that, because in my perspective, it's not about how you use it, it's just the money in itself. Like, money doesn't exist, it's just energy, right? And so it's like that energy is just dark in itself. So it's like if you use it in a positive way, you're still using dark energy, you know? That's how I see it.
Do you think?
Because it's like, think about it like this. Like, think about it, you're going to buy flowers for your spouse or something. The fact that you have to pay to do a nice thing for someone, that to me is fucked up. It's like, why not just like go pick some flowers? Or like, it's a bad example, but like I hope you get what I mean by the whole like you need to give me something so I can give you something, you know? It's like, why can't we just, like, be kind to each other and give it, you know? Or, like, go take it for ourselves. Or, like, any other animal does on this planet.
Yeah, but I mean, we are, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I do hope that you get out of this phase though and kind of change your mind around it because it can do so many beautiful things. It's like the more money you have, the more people you can help. I know you just see it as a dark energy at the moment.
No, I'm aware that, like, you can do beautiful things with it. I just, like, I'm not saying that, like, money can't do good things. Money can do a lot of good things, but I just don't like the thought that money is the reason why those things are a possibility, you know? Because it's like, if money wasn't a thing, then, like, poor people wouldn't exist, you know? And then you wouldn't have to help those people with money. You know, it's like money is both the solution and the cause of the problem.
So, where do you see yourself in the future, though? Because it's. I mean, today we live in a world where you can actually choose to live any kind of life. If you want to live in a like a medieval person, there's probably a community somewhere in the world that lives exactly like that. They don't have any electricity. They don't have, and there's lots of places in the world where they live where they haven't got money, and they live close to nature. And but then you don't have food delivery coming to your door, and you haven't got, you know, you have to, at the moment I feel you have to give up a lot of things that is comfortable,
But
but
like,
at the same time you gain a lot, I think, as well.
like,
Maybe you should try that, actually.
what?
Go and live somewhere without money and try it out.
No, but it's not like because we're in a world where
I'm trying
money.
to kick you out. Did you hear that? No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but it's like we live in a world where every, like, okay, 99.999% of the planet uses money.
No. Africa.
They use money.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's
they
lots
have a
of
currency.
No, yeah, but there's, yeah, I true.
Yeah.
But I don't think 99. Well, it doesn't matter the number. It doesn't matter the number.
You know I exaggerate, but like,
yeah,
like 99.9% of people, there's still like 400,000 people in that 0.1 percentage, sure. Or I don't know, but there's a lot of people in that.
I get you.
But anyway, like, because the world is so based off of money currently, like, it's not that I want to, like, go against it or anything. It's the fact that I just don't want it to be a thing. And I don't want it, like, I can't change time, but I wish it never was a thing, you know? And that's, like, because I spoke about this with my friend the other day, and he said the same thing as you, like, oh, why don't you go live, like, in the middle of a jungle and, like, without money?
Yeah.
And, like, that's not the point. Like, I don't mean, like, oh, I wish I didn't have to live without money. I wish money just wasn't a thing.
Yeah, okay.
You know? So it's like, because it's here, I'm gonna live like the rest of them because it's just easier. You know? But I just wish it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying because I'm so solution focused and practical in my mind. I straight away go like, okay, so practically how would that work?
No, I mean, like, I'm gonna live like any other human being and, like, get my own place and order food and buy things the way I want to do it, but I just wish I didn't have to do it that way. Like, I wish that the world just was like a just giving place, or like go get it yourself, or like this whole like, oh, you need to give me something so I can do something nice for you, you know? It's just like that that part of it is just like, it's so, I don't know, it just
doesn't seem
no,
well,
it just doesn't seem right. Like,
no, and it hasn't been right for many years now.
Yeah.
So we were talking about before, or I was, when we were saying who would you like to become, and I was talking about fears. Is there any fear that you walk around with that you feel like, I wish I didn't have this?
I'd say the one that, like, I think about almost on a daily basis, like, I don't think about it, but I live it, I guess, is the fear of abandonment, I'd say. Because...
Oh, you said that before. We have never abandoned you.
No, not you.
God.
But, like, if you think back to, like, all my friendships and things like that, like,
complicated.
Most of them have just, like, left out of nowhere, or, like, this has happened, and it's like, oh, poof, gone, you know? So it's like, I always try go, like, above and beyond to try to keep a person in my life, because I'm so afraid of that abandonment. And, like, I am trying to be more conscious of it and be like, no, you know what, like, it's okay to let people go, you know? If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You can let them go. But it's such, like, a strong, like, trauma of mine, I'd say, and, like, through therapy this has become stronger and I've realized it more. But yeah, I'm trying to work on it, but it is tricky when it's a sensitive topic like that. Yeah. Lenny's outside.
Yeah, I can hear him. Hang on, I'm just gonna open the door. No, you can leave it on. I'm just gonna open the door to our little cat. Hello, yes, you can come on the podcast.
He's like, I have some thoughts and topics I want to say.
Meow. Yeah, okay. Abandonment, that's so interesting. Yeah, but
You're gonna hear him purring now.
That's okay. That's a good background sound, isn't it? So,
yeah, but, like, think about it. Like, my first friendship in life, she just, like, left out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know? And that's, like, the first experience to anything is always so important.
Yeah.
Because it, like, sets a base standard, you know? And for that to be my first one, and then, like, it kind of, like, subconsciously, without me noticing until, like, these past few years, have affected my other friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
Because of that, you know? So it's like, obviously it couldn't have been, like, stopped or prevented or anything. Like, it was meant to happen. But it is a tricky thing to, like... live with, I'd say.
But you say that you kind of, it pops up in your mind every day. What does that look like?
I mean, it's like, for example, if I'm, like, trying to find some new friends, and, like, I find someone that I'm like, oh, this person could, like, have, like, we could have cool conversations, and we might actually have a cool connection, you know? And we start talking for a few days, and I'm like, damn, they're actually really cool. Then, as soon as I get that, like, I want to keep them in my life because they're cool, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I can to keep them in my life, you know? And if that doesn't happen, it can be a bit of a struggle for me.
But, yeah.
Because it's like, oh, well, now I've failed to, like, keep another person in my life.
You put it on you like that.
Not all the time, but sometimes, yeah. But, I mean, like, we all have our trauma and stuff, and it's, like, I've solved a lot of my issues already in, like, the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, you're very insightful that way because you're aware.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it or change it.
Yeah, it's
unless
just
you're aware about.
learn to live with it
Yeah.
or manage it in some way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and like thanks to therapy, it's like, because in therapy, like, I immediately make my boundaries. Like, I don't want any advice. I don't want you to tell me what to do. I don't want any, like, breathing exercises or whatever. Like, I just want to talk, let my brain out, and then, like, hear what your thoughts are on it. And then we go back and forth. And, like, that's what I do with therapy. Like, I use it solely for the fact of, like, reflecting my own thoughts. It's just to have someone else to bounce off of really helps me, because, like, I've tried talking to people and, like, getting their opinions on it and their advice on it, and it never really works for me, because they have no idea how my brain works. They have no idea how I work. So it's like, how would you even expect them to give good advice when they have their complete own way of thinking and like way of processing things? So it's just like, I've just learned how to do it on my own, but yet not, like, just have someone there to reflect on, but at the same time I do it on my own time and my way.
Yeah. But I think a therapist as well, for me anyway, or it could be my friends, or it could be my dad, or it could, when somebody asks me a question, like I heard on the podcast the other day, who would you like to become? Then that's a therapy almost. It's like, but it could be another question as well, and that helps me to figure out a certain area that I haven't thought about, or change, or let go, or so I think your therapist, she was asking you questions as well. Not giving advice maybe, but asking questions for you to figure out certain things.
Just to help me, like, analyze and like dig a bit deeper. For sure she did that, but like, she was very good and, like, understood my boundaries, because I really hate when people give me advice. I'm I'm not gonna do that. Like, you're wasting your time.
Have you ever had any negative like reactions when you say to friends or that you go to therapy? No.
I think, like,
it's more common now, isn't
it?
It's
become such a, like, normal thing now, and it's also like, if you don't go to therapy, well, that's also normal, like, and also, like, I really don't care what other people think, so if they have given me bad reactions, I haven't noticed, because, like, I don't pay attention, but, like, no, not that, like, I can remember. Like, I'm just like, I have therapy tomorrow, and they're like, oh, okay. Like, that's it, and then we move on. It's not really like, oh my god, you go to therapy?
It used to be like that. I think, but your generation is more common as well, I think, which is great.
But it's also like, that means more shit in our brains.
Well, not necessarily. I think it was not as when I grew up, we had, at school we had somebody maybe you could talk to, a little bit, but that's, if you went there, you were like, God, she's or he is in deep shit trouble. It's not, now it's like every other person goes to therapy and it's fine, and I don't think it had that we had less stuff to work out.
It was just kind of taboo to talk about it.
And it was like, if you had a psychologist, you were like, God,
you're a sociopath.
You have to shrink. A little bit. Now it's more open, which is good, I think. I think that's grand.
No, like, for example, when I see a video of someone like, oh, I went to therapy and da-da-da-da, like, I don't even think twice about it. Like, it's such a normal thing for, like, at least my generation to do now.
And I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So is Bali getting a little bit better for you now, or?
I mean, Bali will never be my place to be. Bali and I have come to an agreement that we don't want each other around each other. Like
I don't think that's true, but that's
there
in your
is
head.
there's that saying, Bali either takes you in or kicks you out. Bali kicked me out a while ago,
But that's over now.
but I just can't leave. So we've just come to a mutual agreement that, like, okay, we don't like each other, but we're gonna have to live with each other.
Do you know what? Bali loves you. You just don't.
You don't
let
know
her
that.
in.
You have no idea. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't like Bali. I don't think Bali likes me. So we've just agreed to
disagree.
hate each other in silence.
No, don't say
and
that.
just like live with it until it's over.
Wasn't it amazing? We felt an earthquake.
The earthquake, yeah.
2 days ago, and Dad's never felt it in his entire life. It was the first ever.
It's weird because in Spain, like when we lived in the mountainside, we used to get tons of earthquakes, but it was more at the bottom.
We never felt it though. No.
But it was just weird that there were so many and we never felt a single one. And then here, like after 2 years, we felt like 2 in the past month.
Yeah, but this one 2 days ago was we wouldn't say it was big. It was 5.8, and it was far away out at sea.
Yeah, like it's just like things started shaking a little for like
I was sitting
seconds.
in a chair and it was like whoop moving. But it's funny, I was talking to our PT John. He's born and bred here in Bali. And I said to him, did you feel the earthquake? Because for us, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Because we brought up in Sweden and you in Spain. Yeah. We haven't got that. And our body and our memory and our nervous system don't recognize it.
It's like, what the fuck is going on? Oh my God.
We haven't got it in our body. So the body goes, what? And I thought, is somebody walking on this roof? Or what's going on? But here, he recognized it straight away.
It's just another like, Tuesday.
Yeah, and he said when the big one hit a few years ago, he was actually standing on the beach, changing after a surf lesson. And he had kind of one foot in the air, putting new, shorts on, and then that hit. And he started feeling it. And then everybody from, like, the beach restaurants were running out on the earthquake. And he just looked, and he thought, oh, just carry on dressing myself. Yeah. Because he's brought up here.
Yeah.
So it's so different that we haven't got that in us. And when it happened, it's like, no, what is this? I don't recognize this.
No, it's like, but it's like the cats. It's like when the earthquake actually hit, the cats didn't really seem to mind.
No, but
then like 10 minutes after, we walk into the kitchen and both of them are sitting on our table.
Yeah.
And they never do that because they know that we eat there and they're not supposed to be there.
They do in the night.
But both of them sitting there, and we were just like, what the fuck?
What are you doing? Yeah.
It's just like, I think it was just like, okay, higher up is safe. Like, the ground is shaking, but we're not on the ground, so we're okay.
Funny.
Yeah, it's weird how, like, we've lost so many of our, like, natural instincts like that.
Yeah, but I think also depends geographically where you grow up.
Yeah,
because here, in Japan, it's every day.
Yeah.
If you live in Japan, but if we brought up like you in Spain and me in Sweden, we never ever felt it. Maybe turn off your phone when we're recording. No.
Pardon?
Okay. So yeah. So that's interesting, I find. But what was I gonna say? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what we're going to talk about now?
Who knows what's next? Who knows what's coming? Who knows? That's a good question, that. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
And you can put that on anything.
Yeah.
Because it's like, even if it's like scientifically proven, air quotes, it's like,
who knows?
Says who? Who knows?
Yeah. And I walked around saying who knows in my head for probably a couple of years after Neleniji, our teacher, told the Zen story about who knows. You know that one, right?
Yeah,
with the farmer and the horse.
Yeah.
So that is such a good, because who knows, right? Good and bad, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's good or if it's bad, or who knows?
And then you realize good and bad are the same thing, or Neither. And they don't exist, but they do.
Elaborate.
Like, I always use like some kind of example because I like to paint my thoughts instead of like wording them. So it's like, for example, a guy who's like an Olympic horse rider or something, right? And he falls off and like breaks his leg, and now he's unable to ride, you know? That is bad for him because he loves riding horses, but it's good for someone else because now they can take over the horse and pursue their dream. So it's like that same moment was both good and bad.
Yeah.
And good and bad neutralizes
That's
each other.
what that story is about. Good luck, bad luck, who knows, right?
So it's like positive and negative neutralize each other.
Yeah.
So it's just like they don't exist, but they also do.
Yeah.
You know? And like if you think about it on like a deeper level on a day-to-day basis, then it's like, well, it's like you can have something air quotes shit happen to you, but then it's like, oh, but it's actually like good at the same time. And then it's a form, like it, once you start thinking about it more on a daily basis, then like you change your way of thinking about like things that happen to you, whether they're good or bad or neither or both, you know. And it's like, for me at least, it's helped me process things a lot easier. And yeah, I try to, like, I've mentioned this to you guys many times, and like Dad's like, oh, but what if a murderer came in and chopped your head off? Like, that's bad, right? And I'm like, no, it's not necessarily, you know, like yeah, I don't know, like,
he wouldn't bring an example like that up.
He did. He was like, what if a robber came in and started hatching your head off?
Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, we're all a little fucked up.
No, I don't see it like that at all.
No. But yeah, like good, bad, like it's both very real and doesn't exist at all. So it's like, it's just take everything a little lighter because it doesn't actually mean that much.
Well, I do. No, but dualities exists.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it does exist, but at the same time it doesn't. Like, I'm not saying it exists, but I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Okay.
You know? It's like you have to see both sides of it and accept both sides of it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like yin and yang. There's good in the bad and bad in the good.
Yeah, true. And we need both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love here when they do ceremonies. They do, you know, they bless the you know, nature, and they also bless as above, like light and everything like that, but also they do blessings for the dark.
Yeah.
You know, the that lives underground and darkness and everything like that, because they acknowledge that. But when they bless the darkness or the bad or whatever we're going to call it, they feel that they keep away, you know. Just we see you, but stay away, basically. Yeah.
Kind of like a peace sign, peace offering.
Yeah. Instead of just, you know, it's all holy and light, and I love that. They do so many ceremonies here. That's what I think.
Yeah, a little like too many for my liking.
No, I think
but it's like
lovely.
Every other week it's like more like things on the road and like offerings everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god. But great. You know, whatever keeps them happy, do you. Yeah. I'm not gonna do it, really, but good. You do you.
Yeah, well. So is there anything particular in yourself at the moment that you feel like that you are, if you would kind of mention or talk about one thing that you feel like, oh, I'm looking at this within myself and I'm changing this within myself, or...
Yeah, I mean, I'd say those like abandonment issues I'm trying to work on.
Anything else?
I take things one at a time because
Yeah.
otherwise it becomes a lot and then I end up not doing anything. So I focus
Strategic and pragmatic.
yeah, I mean
That's
I
good.
hyper focus on one thing in my brain until I feel like okay, that's like good enough to manage for now. And then I do something else.
Yeah.
And then maybe in the future I go back to that thing and like make it better.
Yeah.
I just stick to one thing because if you try fix everything at once, then it's so overwhelming and it's like you're gonna end up giving up so fast because it's
Yeah.
like that's way too much for anyone to handle.
True.
So yeah, I just for now, that's my current issue that I'm dealing with, but who knows in the future.
Yeah, I'm looking at patience at the moment.
Yeah, you need that.
Well, thanks.
It's true.
I'm working on it, and I feel like why is it there? I'm trying to look at it in so many different ways. Why is it there? And then what has it got to do with? Why, and how can I let it go, and how can I just have some more patience?
It's weird to like hear how other people like handle their issues or like their thoughts or process them because it's like I would never sit there and like question them like that. I'd just be like, okay, this is something I have to deal with, and then it's just replaying in my head, and eventually it solves itself.
But what do you mean replay it in your head?
It's just literally, I mean that very literally. Like it literally replays in my head.
Replays how though? So let's say I'm working now with patience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just replay the word patience in your head.
Patience,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Nothing else. How is that going to solve anything?
Because then your mind absorbs it and it's like, oh shit, this is a thing that I can do, and then it's like you do it eventually. It's like acceptance. Like that's how I learn acceptance. Like I just replayed it in my head for like 3 weeks.
So you don't put anything in front of it, or like I'm patient.
But like this whole like replaying thing isn't like I don't control it. Like I have zero control over it. It's just like
of your thoughts.
No, I do have control over my thoughts, but that whole replaying thing, that is a thing that like really happens. But when it does, it's like okay, this is a thing that's like happening now, and it's like because sometimes someone just like I don't know, like sends a text into my brain and it's like, okay, this is a thing now. Like acceptance. Like I'd never thought of it before. And then one day I just woke up with it in my head and then it replayed for like a few weeks and then it's stuck in my brain now forever. But like my thoughts I have control of.
So what does acceptance mean?
Acceptance, oh, there's so many layers to acceptance.
I know.
And I love each and every one of them. And the more I get to learn about them.
I mean, Nailaji gave me the name Kamala, which means acceptance of all.
Yeah.
Because that's what she thought I needed to work with. Well, she knew I needed to work with.
Yeah, no, I mean, acceptance, like, the easiest form I've come to explain it is, like, whether it's a good or bad situation, if you can just accept and be like, okay, this is happening, I'm feeling this way, it's okay, like just being okay with anything and all that's happening, it will make it so much easier to deal with because most people, they tend to go against it and they're like, why is this happening to me? Why me? Why am I feeling like this? Why did my car break down? Why? But if you're just like, okay, this has happened, it's okay, it'll pass. You're over it in like 5 minutes, instead of mellowing it for like a week. It's so much easier to just handle your thoughts and emotions in life when you have acceptance in your head, and the more you use it in a day-to-day life and the more you like think about it, the more layers you're gonna understand. That is just like the top layer to me. Like all these other layers, I haven't found a way to explain them, but they're just there. And you get to experience all those layers as you grow and live with it. And it's, yeah, I don't know, like, it's my first tattoo that I put on myself, and it's one of my favorites. And yeah, it's the biggest life lesson I've learned, and my favorite for sure.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, and
really
I try to teach it to everyone and anyone that I come across.
So maybe some acceptance around money. How does that work in your life?
I hate it when people use it against me.
I don't use it against you. If you have a level of acceptance.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, I accept that it's a thing in this world. I just personally wish it didn't happen.
Yeah, I understand. I was just like...
teasing.
Yeah.
Like usual.
God, that time flew.
Yeah.
Shall we do we need to wrap up here.
Yeah.
So do you want to start doing the grateful things?
Okay. I am grateful that we have such beautiful nature around us and that it's not all dead and dry like in Spain.
Yep.
I'm grateful that we have two very different but both equally cuddly and nice cats, whom I love, even though I'm allergic. I'm very grateful that I find ways to somehow be creative in this room because I'm not allowed to like paint on the walls. So I try, like I've hung up weird dead plants and sticky notes and stuff and painted the windows, and yeah, I'm glad that you guys let me express my creativeness in whatever way I possibly can. And the high of the day will be getting some lunch after this. The low of the day was getting a heart attack this morning.
Oh my dad.
And the word of the day will be Lenny.
Lenny,
our little kitty cat.
That was good. I'm grateful that for all the beautiful people we have around us here in Bali that we've met the last, year and a half? Over a year and a half we've been here now.
Almost 2 years.
November is 2 years.
Yeah.
I am also grateful that we have these fluffy four-legged ones in our family. It would be hard for me to live without them.
Yeah.
And I'm also very grateful for the two we have in Spain because they are in heaven. You know,
but we don't really have them. They're not really ours
anymore. No,
yeah.
But it's easier for me to kind of think about them because I know they're having such a beautiful time. And the high of the day is the high of the day. What have I done today?
Yeah, not much has happened today.
No. No, I think that is just flowing at the moment. Yeah. The love of the day I haven't got, and the word of the day is becoming. So yeah. So thank you for listening and see you next time.
See you when who knows.
See you when who knows. And if you have any topic that you would like us to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm down to talk about anything because I have opinions about everything.
Well, I'm sure you do, my darling.
So, yeah, I mean, if you have any recommendations or be like, oh, I wonder what they think about this.
Yeah.
Please leave it in the comments or whatever. And yeah.
Okay.
See you next time.
Over and out. Ciao for now.